What's up, guys? We're back with another video. Today is May 20th of 2026, and like I said, I was gonna bring out this video sooner than I did last night. Unfortunately though, we had a loss today, so that breaks our winning streak, although it wasn't a big winning streak. It was like a 3-day winning streak. What really hurts though is that we're down under 50k when we just got back over it, barely of course, but yeah, that hurts a little bit. I unfortunately caught a trade due to a mistake around 950, I believe. Anyway, we'll check it out in the video, but yeah, today was unfortunate and I don't have much to say else today. Let's just get into the trade. So like always, let's analyze this through the higher time frames. I'm gonna start with the hourly because all in all we get the picture of the daily and the 4-hour, and we see a lot through the hourly as well. So we had reached this draw liquidity right here yesterday on both indexes, right? This one, the one that I kept talking about, yes. But there are others. There's this one down here. The reason why this one made so much sense, and I'm not sure I was clear about it, is because like the market didn't make sense for it to stop around here when there's this clear draw where there's many orders. This one, however, since we're at this spot where all the orders are, it's possible for market to stop and want to go back up, and that's exactly what we're kind of seeing here today. It's harder for us to determine if we're gonna want to go to this draw liquidity because we're still in this range where we're not sure yet, right? It turned out that we were actually bullish. We were reacting off this draw liquidity that I mentioned so many times in the last few videos. So on the hourly, I noted down, if we could look further here, before 9:30 we had taken out this draw here. There was this, that. So that means there are still some draws to the upside. On Nasdaq there were less. But what was important for me on the hourly was this gap right here that we had on both indexes. And I'll show you why that gap was so important. So before 9:30 open, you can notice right here on ES we swept already. This is 9:30 open, this vertical line right here on both indexes. Before 9:30, ES had swept this pretty good draw liquidity, and Nasdaq had swept these two relatively equal highs. There was this draw liquidity. However, it didn't necessarily mean that we were going to go all the way and reach for it, but we were in a bullish trend for the most part before 9:30, and actually I might be saying garbage here because we're dropping on both right before 9:30, but what I meant to say is through yesterday at night all the way, well, what happened tonight, not tonight, last night, so like from 12 midnight yesterday to 6 today. This is basically what happened. We're in a bullish trend reacting off the draw liquidity that I pointed out. So what would market logically want after maybe taking these draws and these ones right here? We would maybe want to go down into this hourly gap that I pointed out right here. And so that's exactly what happened. But it wasn't done yet before 9:30. If I show you on the 1 minute, ES was leading this downwards movement right here. Nasdaq was a bit higher. I'll show you. Right, so this is the move down from Nasdaq. This is the one from ES. Before 9:30, that move down had not been completed as I would define it, right? It's possible we don't want this hourly gap, but it's such a clean draw that I'm kind of looking for it to get filled. Right at 9:30, ES took that hourly gap right here, and it's such a clean movement back up. So we can say clearly that market reacted off of it. Okay, so what happened then was, well, I'm saying to myself, we got it, the hourly gap on Nasdaq, on ES I mean, but not on Nasdaq. Nasdaq had just barely gone for it. Yeah. So 9:30 opens, we go up, down, inverse, and I'm sure some people got stopped out break even here because many probably thought that we were going all the way down into this hourly gap. Around that time, ES had taken it out, forming an SMT, and a good trade that people could have taken right here is this one right here, where Nasdaq starts ripping as soon as ES reacts also off of that gap. ES also starts ripping, but not into really any clear draw liquidities. Maybe this one you could have hit TP1 here, but really, if you were going to aim anywhere on ES, it's probably this draw liquidity right here. Nasdaq actually ended up filling this draw liquidity right here, which leads to the next downwards movement, this one right here, because Nasdaq takes out this liquidity and it forms a reason for it to maybe want to flip back into a bearish move. And this bearish move is actually the one that messes me up. So through this bullish move before we react here on Nasdaq, and we have the same bullish move here, we form these gaps right here. I noted down this gap because I believe this is a 3-minute gap. Oh, yeah, 3-minute gap right here. Through this gap, I notice that we react cleanly here, go back up, and my mistake was that I did not wait for 1-minute candle closing, right? Because I got in here, although this looks like a terrible entry, back then it looked to me like, you know, this candle was gonna close bullish as green, and we would inverse this 1-minute gap right here. But we do the opposite, which is why it's so important to actually wait for things like that to happen. If you're backtesting, obviously you're not going to see the candles forming, you're just going to see it close, open, close. But real-time market, you want to wait just like as if you were backtesting in these types of situation. At least when it's very obvious, obviously you can maybe go when it's 3/4 almost closed, and you're pretty much 100% certain that it will close towards the direction that you wanted. Here it didn't, and that's my mistake. If it had it closed green, I probably would have entered the same trade because market was clearly reacting off this 3-minute gap. Nasdaq was following the same kind of movement, and we probably would have it would have given us a better reason for market to want to continue moving upwards. But it right now it's telling me the opposite. It's telling me when it closes like this, it tells me that we are not going back up. We're actually reacting off this 1-minute gap, so we're pretty much fucked. And so yeah, so I actually had my stop loss all the way here. When we move back up here, I moved my stop loss there because if market wanted to come back down, then it would probably want to go all the way down. And the reason for this movement, like I said, was because Nasdaq also wanted this hourly gap, because as you can notice right here, as soon as we tap into it, look at this flow here. And after this inversion of I don't know how many gaps, I probably would have entered, and that's where I would have got these longs. Listen, that's one mistake, and it cost me around $367. We're still on eval, if anyone is asking. Yes, I'm still in eval, but I used to be funded, if anyone cares. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's one mistake, and sometimes that's just the only thing that the market needs to punish you. So that's all I had for you guys today. Market is continuing to move higher. What does it want? Let's see. Yeah, it probably wants this draw liquidity. Let's look on a higher time frame. Yeah, so this draw liquidity clearly had an impact. We want to fill the orders around here. that's all I had for you guys today. Hopefully you guys learned something off of my loss today. See you guys tomorrow.